Sensational touch. Have a sensational bath experience. Greetings, everyone. This is Kamisha, the traveling spiritual soaper, and welcome to my corner, Kamisha's corner. That is, I thank you for joining me today, and this is another episode of Soap and Spirituality. So I will be cutting the latest two soaps that I made. This is the hemp soap, and the other one was or is the apple soap. It's apple and cranberry. It's a blend. It's a mix. And we are going to be talking about the Kemetic holiday that goes, I should say holy day, that goes by the name of Sunstick Day. Okay, so as I cut these two soaps, I'm going to be talking about Sunstick Day. Alrighty, so we have I'm going to be using our crinkle cutter today. So Sunstick Day is one of the last holidays that falls in the first month of our calendar year. We are now in the second month of our calendar year, which is the month of Atiri. The first month is the month of Tehuti. Oh, okay. Okay, so the first month, I think I got that a little bit wrong. The first month is the month of Tehuti. The second month is the month of Penipt, and that's the month that my birthday falls in. And the month that we are currently in now is the month of Atiri. So I'm talking about Sunstick's Day, which falls on the 23rd of Penipt, which falls on the calendar date. I believe it's November the 1st this year. I can't remember. But if you have a Kemetic calendar, you can also download the Kemetic calendar on your phone via its app. They now have an app, Kemetic calendar app, that was put out by the Earth Center. It's really good. You should check it out. But anyway, Sunstick Day. So what is Sunstick Day? It is a holy day that falls on the 23rd of Penipt, and it is the day where the Earth actually travels a very dangerous distance from the sun. It is at a distance that's even further than the distance that the Earth is in relation to the sun on the solstices and the equinoxes. So on this particular day, the sun is the Earth rather is even further away from the sun. Now, that's not the only significant thing about this day that makes it, a bit of a dangerous time for humanity. It's also a time where the Earth's rotation slows down and the Earth's revolution also slows down. So the energies of the Earth change a lot during those times. And during this time, it actually marks a very dangerous period of the distance of the Earth to the sun. And it is responsible for the energetic changes that we might see in humanity that can cause all sorts of depression, and sadness that we may experience at this time of the year. And a lot of people tend to attribute that time and that period of sadness to the fact that, there's not as much sunlight, as there normally is during other times of the year. But it's not just the amount of light. It's also, you can look at some of the designs that's made by that last swirl. Kind of looks like interesting, like a mushroom cloud, like an explosion. I don't know if that's a good thing or what, but that's what it looks like. I like the crinkle cutter. It gives a little bit of a different personality to your soap bars when you use the crinkle cut as opposed to a straight cutter or a knife that gives you a straight cut. I like it. So this one, it's like a brown, a red, and white. And I probably should have added a little black to that, but that's okay. So yes, we were talking about the different energetic disturbances that are caused in humans during this time. So it can lead to a lot of sadness, depression, because not only do we have the earth being positioned really far from the sun and it's less hours of daylight, but we also have the slowing down of the speed of the earth, the revolution of the earth around the sun, and the revolution of the earth around the sun and the rotation of the earth on its axis. So all of those things begin to slow down, plus the earth is further away from the sun than at any other time of the year. So on the continent of Merita, also known as Africa, in many traditional societies, they have ceremonies to mark this passing, to mark this day. A lot of fire ceremonies that may fall on this day to mark this dangerous period that we are going through. So there's a lot of fire festivals where you'll see people doing really miraculous things with fire. So you might see people playing with fire and not getting burned, walking on hot coals, sitting in fire and not getting burned. A lot of miraculous things with fire that happen around this time of the year. So if you're ever in Merita around this time of the year, on that day, on Sunstick Day, I would behoove you to try to look for some of these fire festivals that could be happening. Okay, so that was the first loaf, which is that was the hemp. It kind of smells a little bit like opium to me. I mean, that's the smell that it smells like to me. And that one was the swirl where I tried to do a little bit of a different technique by pouring the soap. It wasn't this one, but over this and letting it like pour out through the holes to create a different type of design. But it looks like a regular drop swirl to me. It doesn't look much different. Now the apple and cranberry soap, this one that I'm about to cut here, this is the one that I did with the pencil line. So I'm kind of excited to see how that turns out. And of course, like always, if you're interested in getting any of these soaps, if you get it while it's still in the pre-sale, which it is now because it has not fully cured, you can get it for $1 off the online price. All you have to do is send me an email at Kamishita at Kamishita's Corner. I know you saw that email pop up on the screen, .com, and let me know if you want 1, 2, or 3 bars. You can't get more than 3 bars. And you could order the soap that you want. You could either say, give me 1, 2, or 3 of the hemp soap, or 1, 2, or 3 bars of the Cran-Apple soap. All right. Okay, so you might be wondering, well, why do they call it Sunstick Day? Where does that come from? Well, there's a saying. Doesn't come from me, comes from our traditions, and that I learned at the Earth Center. And the saying goes as such: a wise old elder, leaning against his walking stick, the oldest documented traditions of the planet reveal the original holiday of Sunstick, when the sun's energies are the weakest on the planet and are said to walk with a stick. So that's where the name comes from. It comes out of traditions. And because the earth's energies are the weakest at that time, just like as an old man or old woman gets, old in age, we may begin to walk with a stick. Because the earth is at its weakest period, the sun's energies on the earth is at its weakest period. It's almost as if this earth is walking with a walking stick. Like it needs help, needs assistance. So that's where that comes from. The name of the day, calling it Sunstick Day. And it's a interesting period, an interesting time of the year. This is messing up a little bit. Okay. It has these little dots, and if you don't line it up properly, these little dots right here make it hit this, and then it doesn't allow it to go down. So you got to make sure you get it in just the right spot. And this soap was the one that had the pencil line on it. So I'm hoping that the pencil line comes out really nicely. We will see. Okay, so going back to Sunstick Day and talking a little bit more about that. So the distancing of the earth from the sun doesn't only have consequences on our energies as far as us, tending to have more depression during that time of the year and more sadness during that time of the year, but it also leads to the slowing down of the rotation, and the slowing down of the speed of the earth also has an impact on the body, the physical body, during that time of the year as well. So in the traditions, it is said, our healers understand that during this time of the year also, the heart has a much harder time pumping blood throughout the body. And we all know that the blood carries the nutrients throughout our body. So if the heart is having a harder time pumping blood throughout the body, that means that, our heart is working a lot harder during this time of the year as well. So practicing a lifestyle that keeps the heart healthy, especially when we're going into this period, is advisable because your heart is already going to be working a lot harder because of the slowed rotation and revolution of the earth. And I like it. Look at the pencil line. It came out really nice. I like. So the bottom is apple and the top is the cranberry. I like. And this is the first time. I got a little bit of a mess up here and here, but it's the first time that I'm doing this particular design. I've seen it, but I've never really done it myself. And I like the way it came out. I actually like this much better than the swirl on the other soap. And the smell is wonderful. You're going to really, really love that smell. It's like an apple, bit of a sour apple and cranberry. So we have our Cran-Apple soap and we have our hemp soap. Oh, got a little bubble there. Yes, so taking good care of your health during this time, which is interesting because around this time we're also about to go into the colonial holidays, where people tend to be a little bit too gluttonous and eating a little bit too much. So that's probably not a good thing to do around this time of year because the heart is already working so hard. It's probably a good time to do some fasting, cleansing. If you're a type of person who cleanses regularly, this might be a good time of the year to do a nice cleanse. Clean out the blood in the body systems and organs to help support it, so that while it's working harder, it's also working more efficiently because the body is in a better state. All of the body's organs are in a better state. Okay, so that's Sunstick Day. And this is my Cran-Apple soap, the last cut of that. And again, if you're interested in getting a calendar to keep up with the different Kemetic holidays, you can contact your nearest Earth Center, your local Earth Center. You can go online, earthcenter.org, theearthcenter.org, And all of the different locations are on there. You can find the one that's closest to you. And you can order a calendar so you can keep up with all the different happenings of the year, the Kemetic year. Alrighty, so that is my hemp and cranberry soap and cranberry apple soap that I've just cut. And if you like any one of these, you can get it in the pre-order and you will get $1 off the online price. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for hanging out with me on my corner tonight. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.